You're listening to the voice of IWA Flip here on Interfed Radio. Welcome to Living Nightmare After Hour. With me in studio, as always, Commissioner Scott Anderson. Commissioner, welcome.
Hey, thanks. How's it going?
Oh man, it's amazing, man. It really is. The IWA, it never stops to surprise me. I'm going to go ahead and say that because everywhere you look, everywhere you turn, there's leagues that are booming. Trash talk is, off the wall. So shout out to the IWA. Shout out to all the great managers that make this game so exciting. And we got a lot more coming to this bronze. So we won't say too much, but yeah, this bronze is really shaping itself to be the place to be. The place to be.
It's hard to argue that point. There's an awful lot going on.
Yeah, I mean we got some great bronze leagues, and I think last cycle was that reminder that the IWA does also. I don't want to say they like to, but they definitely throw their curveballs from time to time, and
Fair.
yeah, you gotta if you're gonna stay at the top echelons or the top tier, you definitely got to start tracking holds. If unless you want to stay up here with the lower tier players like myself and keep using your charts. Keep using your charts. Oh, man.
I would have to agree.
Yeah,
you gotta chart your holds. Yeah, for certain.
You gotta invest the time. It is a game that does require you to invest some time to get up into that. And believe me, if you do take a little bit of time, you're gonna benefit from it tremendously. I mean. Yes. But
I guess that's the takeaway. You don't have to chart your holds, but you're going to benefit if you do.
Yes. And, oh, man.
Unless you're like me and you thought that there was no way Diamond would be 28-26 because it was 28-26 last cycle and the other 3 28 drops had already played. And you're like, oh, 28 is safe. Nope, got him. And I'm like, oh man, I had 28 with everybody, so 8 of 25 on all my diamond holds, all my guys. That's all right.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the beauty of the game. I mean, it throws off even some veteran players, and it keeps us on our toes. And if we can, I'm going to go ahead and start with Living Nightmare League. Is this 53 or did I miss one?
53.
Whew. My goodness. And starting from the top, we got our Nightmare champ, Darth Akuma. Our Paranormal champ, Dr. Frankenstein. Amityville champion, Patient Z. Crystal Lake champion, Ali Baba Black Sheep. Our Elm Street champion from the Battle Royal, Sinister Bagul. Black Lagoon champion, also from the Battle Royal, Jigsaw. Camp Arwak champion, the American Werewolf. Our Transylvania champion from the Battle Royal, Patient Y. Our Haunted Hill champion, also from the Battle Royal, Foxwoman Santana. Sleepy Hollow champion, the Crypt Keeper. Salem Lot champion, Patient X. And the Crypt champion, Darth Yoru. Our Apocalypse Tag Team Champions, Patient X and Dr. Frankenstein. Doomsday TV Champions, Patient Z and Patient Y. And Slaughterhouse Six-Man Champions, the Patients. And our Nightmare TV Six-Man, the Sith. Nice. Yoru, Jigoku, and Akari. Now, shout out to all those champions. Let's see here. As I scroll down to the commissioner titles here. Let's see here.
Yes. While you do that, if I may, I'm gonna do what I can to get the IWA to take some of the longtime inactive players. But the Alibaba is inactive. He's been inactive for like 2 years. So if you're a regional champion, don't challenge inactive wrestlers. Now, I wouldn't challenge active wrestlers.
I think that's again, I've had this argument with other players who say that they're just competitive. They want to take on the entire roster. They literally send that in as their email, like put me against everybody that's in the roster. And I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, that's just the way I send it in. I'm like, well, shout out, but if you are a regional champion, again, I'm not going to tell you how to play, but, regional belts should be, like gold. I mean, you shouldn't give it up. I mean, just if you are going to sign it against some of those other people, put non-title. Don't give up your belt.
There you go. Certainly, people can play how they want, but it would be nice if all the regionals were held by active wrestlers.
Yes, that would be amazing. But we're not telling you how to play. I mean, again, and I think we sometimes hold on to some of the inactive fighters with hope that they might return, so we don't want to act too quick. But yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, but eventually it gets like this. And I think the other thing that happened this cycle is a lot of the inactive wrestlers have generally not great strategies, but you have a cycle like we had in May where holds are changing, things are happening. You might hit a 490 and that could be really good for May, but this inactive wrestler, has a 491 or whatever, So crazy kooky cycles like we had last cycle in May, you might want to be extra careful.
Oh yeah, I mean this.
But yeah, I do see about a dozen inactive wrestlers, and I'm gonna see if I can get the IWA to purge them.
Nice. Yeah, that's just some of the tasks the commissioners have to take on. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's a little tough, but oh man, but definitely we want to see the active fighters up there. Now, let's see here. The Terror Tag Champions.
Yes, sir.
And I mean, as great as they were doing, RoboCat and Squeaky didn't have enough to take out Michael and Jason, huh?
They did not. I guess if we go over the champions, we're gonna kind of reveal who won at Dead by Dawn, but I'm okay with that.
Okay, yeah, we'll kind of glimpse over them, and then we'll get a little bit more into it right after this. Who do we got here? Now, this is a series for the Colossal?
Well, the Colossal is the one that's defended every cycle against everybody the champion faces.
Oh, nice. So Akari is now the new Colossal.
For cycle 53, yes.
Aha. Oh, gotcha. See,
there may be a new champion next cycle.
Yes. But cycle 53's champion Darth Akari, Colossal champion. Nice. And like you said, this is an open match. Everybody that goes up against him qualifies to win it as long as you're a trash talker.
Correct. Yep. If you're active and you trash talk and you face the champion, you could win the title. Yes.
Awesome.
You don't have to mark it. I get that question too. We may have talked. You don't have to mark it Colossal. If you beat, Darth Akari by the most number of points and you trash talk, you're the champ.
Nice. And this face, man, I'm starting to. Oh man, this guy's. It's getting to me now. We got Dr. Frankenstein, the Anarchy champion.
It's a good bow tie, though.
It is fantabulous. I'm just. Yeah, it's just. Yeah, at first I thought he was just, kind of, like, like Mr. Rogers, just nice, good old Dr. Frankenstein helping everybody out.
Right.
Come to see that it's not this guy is crazy, man. It's crazy. And
he can be a little heartless.
Hey, now. That bow keeps it all together, though.
That's true.
Now, he's going after this guy now, huh? Because I think this is one that it was meant to be, because the Underworld champion, Darth Akuma. Oh, those Sith.
Yes, sir. Darth Akuma, still your Underworld champion.
My goodness.
Yeah. And I do want to point out, while we're talking about our champions, that Sinister Bagul does still have the head in the box contract. and he can challenge for the Underworld title any cycle he wishes. He just has to include in his trash talk. Like, say he includes in his trash talk for cycle 54, I'm challenging Darth Akuma this cycle. Then in cycle 54, the title match happens.
Ooh.
So anytime he wishes.
As long as he includes it in that cycle's trash talk, it's
correct.
Up for grabs. Ooh,
correct.
Nice.
Correct. So the thing that I would mention, not that I'm picking sides, but if I were holding the money the head in the box contract, I don't know if you've noticed, but I generally have like a good cycle, off cycle, good, on cycle, off cycle. So if you see Darth Akuma have a really good on cycle, it's hard to have two on cycles in a row.
See what I mean about that bow tie? Couldn't just be Mr. Nice Frankenstein and not give up the seat. Gotta go. I see that.
But yes.
Truth. Hey, just that's the way it is.
And I should check my records, which I could do somewhat quickly. I do believe that when he challenges, he has a 4-point advantage.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to double check that real quick because I think that's something I have not promoted recently. And that should be re-promoted.
And now he gets the 4-point advantage because or due to?
Due to the head in the box, yeah.
Aha. Nice.
So
that's definitely a nice added bonus. Now, as you're double checking that, I'm just going to go ahead and glimpse over the singles tag and 6-man standings.
I just found it. Boom.
Get him.
Kudos to me. That was pretty fast.
Yeah.
He does have a 4-point advantage when he challenges.
Nice.
So.
Oh yeah. So you definitely gotta. Well, maybe he wants to win it at like a pay-per-view cycle. Maybe he wants to just totally steal the show. Sinister definitely fits that persona. He's gonna keep us waiting, But who knows? We'll see. We will see.
We will.
Now, I mean, it's gonna be tough unless one of these Siths decides to, or makes a big move on the, I guess on that. On the IWA front page and brings home a national or a world. Mr. Frankenstein, he's
he is pretty far and away on the points so far.
Yeah, so far. And I mean, just adding to the legacy. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, this is one of those places where he built, and this is definitely his house. It has been the last couple of years, and I mean, that's just truth be told. It's like, hey, if you want a challenge, you see it. It's the structure is here. I mean, that's just being frank with everybody, brother. I mean, the structure is in this league. We got great commissioner titles that are transparent and can easily be challenged for. There's no, you're not going to get the Vince McMahon Montreal screw job happening anywhere around here. And I think that's something that a lot of managers actually appreciate about the structure. It's like. It's transparent, like you say. You keep everything within the bulletin, and just wish I was better. I'll get you one of these days, Frankenstein. Oh man.
Yeah, it's important to me that it is clear what the rules are and that everybody knows this is how it is going in. So if your guy wins, you earned it. If my guy wins, I earned it, right? Like there's nothing shady. I wouldn't want that. That wouldn't be cool. So, I wouldn't do that to anybody else. So.
Now, I mean, even though the singles race is, he got a huge lead right now.
Yeah.
Tag and 6-man have been competitive this year.
Close. Yeah.
Yes. And that's awesome to see. I mean, it just shout out to, obviously the Patient X and, and the other set of patients are on top of the division, but you got Timothy Goodnight and Wolfman Joe right behind there. You got, good old Three Fingers and the Hitchhiker. You got, a couple other people tied there down there. Of course, Sinister and the Darth's part of that group. But yeah, no, some good names, and I think after this Dead by Dawn, I think we got some interesting angles brewing.
I have to agree.
Nice. Now, before we get into the angles and stuff, I'm scrolling down. Looks like our Commissioner's Challenge is. We had first round this cycle, or is the first round?
First round this cycle, yeah. Would you like me to share who won their first round matches?
Nice. Yes. Let's see. Let's see what we got here.
I have the bullet. The I cannot believe this. Okay, so I want to pat myself on the back a little bit here. I am done with my LNL report on Friday.
Nice.
Which is never happened, never going to happen again.
Do a little dance.
Yeah. Dance. I still have a UNL report to do, but that's okay. We won't talk about that. LNL report is done. So in the Battle of the Sis, so Euro and Akari had to face each other, and Darth Akari won. So Akari will face Dr. Frankenstein this cycle. Between Patient X and Squeaky, Patient X managed to pull out the victory. So he will face Darth Akuma. Foxwoman Santana managed to beat Michael Myers and will now face Darth Jigoku in round 2. I can't believe I said that right. That had to be close, right? That was pretty good.
Yeah,
I'll never do that again, by the way. That's it. So we're just going to take that clip and we're going to loop it every time I have to say that name. In a battle of long-standing rivalry, Sinister Bagul managed to defeat Jason Voorhees 13. So Sinister Bagul will face Catfish Rob in round 2.
Now, just for our listeners, anybody new, this is definitely the names weren't random. They were actually based off of the point system that we have in the. There's like a separate point system for this commissioner tournament. Yes, is that
correct? Yep, and it's on the page. It's towards the bottom right there. But winning Nightmare or Paranormal titles gets you 6 points. Trash Talking gets you 5 points, and winning a regional title gets you 3 points. Nice. And that is separate from the traditional rankings that you find earlier in the bulletin. So this is very Trash Talk heavy, and basically. You're not getting into the Commissioner's Challenge tournament without trash talking at least most of the time.
Nice.
So we did expand to 12 this time, right? So every other Commissioner Challenge before this one was 8. But I thought like we had enough good trash talking going on that we could expand it to 12. This tournament is ideally set up to reward the trash talking managers. So obviously there has to be a little bit of play in, like, are you winning titles? But, 5 points for submitting trash talk and 3 points for a regional. You could hit a regional all 5 cycles, or you could trash talk all 5 cycles, and the trash talker is going to get in, right? So
that's not fair. Well, that's just the way the structure is. That's what
it is. You trash talk, you got to be active.
Yeah.
So the winner of the tournament gets 25 free matches, which is a pretty good deal, I think.
Nice. I think, like you said, it's just one of those added. I think of it like an added bonus to trash talk. It's like gives you a little more perk, more. Definitely. I like it. Yeah, it's just like. You have to reward those. I mean, if you're looking for trash talk, you got to give those managers a little something, and this is that something. It's just come on.
Well, and. The best trash talk of the cycle gets 10 points in the traditional rankings, as well as $50,000 in iCash.
Nice.
So, best trash talk of the cycle gets $50,000 in iCash. So,
that iMoney. Now we got to find something else to do with that iMoney eventually. Maybe we'll see what we do. Have a sale or something.
I've got a bank in the LNL of like. $1.75 million. So
yeah, I mean the bronze is the bronze is the place right now. So we'll figure out how we get something situated. Yeah.
Well, there's this other bronze league that had like a $4 million match. My goodness. I'm sure we'll talk about that sometime.
Oh yeah, no, I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I kind of called it.
$4 million. Good heavens.
Oh man.
Um.
Now speaking of somebody that doesn't pat too many people on the back, because
Yes.
if not, he'd poke his eye out. The Pale Man.
The Pale Man.
Oh God.
Oh man, he's got his regular sass going on. You know, he calls it like he sees it, and he wants the more violent, the better. So,
And
yeah.
careful what you ask for,
Where's this at?
because no, I'm just saying.
Oh, yours. Okay.
With the trash talk that that you were going over earlier, I I guess he read his mind. He knew he was coming back, and he knew what he was gonna want. Because my goodness, I mean,
Yes.
I mean, the Pale Man. I guess he just lives and dies for this kind of stuff. And rumors of the 18 and over leagues not being gruesome enough, not being this and that, have spread. And to anyone listening, if you still have a chance, download Living Nightmare number 53. And oh my goodness, it bar none one of the funniest. I mean, off the wall, like holy moly. I mean, I mean, I don't want to skip over the Pale Man. I mean, but the Pale Man definitely, he wants that extra gruesome. He wants that, and hopefully we can provide that for him in these next couple of cycles, because
it was delivered in 53. Let me tell you, it is a read twice and save kind of trash talk. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah, and I mean, Dead by Dawn was the highlight of this trash talk, and I think see, I don't, like I said, we're not going to do any spoilers or anything like that, but you want to go over the. Oh, wait a minute, we still got a whole much more commissioner stuff to talk about.
There's much more.
Aha. Let's see here. Oh, do you want to do the trilogy one first?
Sure.
Or did we skip? Or did we skip over one?
No. No, just the activity cards and Battle Royal and us in the report. I like to put that in there every time. If anybody gets tired of seeing that, let me know. Make a comment. Oh, speaking of that, after we finish the commish side, we should look at last cycle and see if we got any comments on the YouTube video.
I knew you were going with that, because we've been so busy and so caught up, and I know we've had either questions or remarks.
Yes.
On some of the YouTube ones, so we definitely got to peek in on that one.
Yeah. So shout out to Dennis for all of his contribution on that. But yeah, let's honor that. Nevertheless, first, the Trilogy Contest is just a free event, hopefully something fun that I put together. And there are 8 teams, 8 six-man teams in your bulletin. There were a couple that didn't have names, so I gave them names like Original Gangsters and New Blood. So
nice.
Original Gangsters. They're the OGs, man. They were here at the beginning.
Nice.
So they get the OG. But 2 teams will be eliminated each cycle. The final 2 teams will compete inside the Elimination Chamber at Chamber of Horrors.
Nice.
Now, it is likely that there will be a prize attached to the winning team or winning person of the Elimination Chamber, but that is to be announced. So we'll see how that goes. But the top 2 teams will face each other in the Elimination Chamber.
Nice. And maybe I missed it, but Chamber of Horrors, is that our next pay-per-view?
Chamber of Horrors will be the next pay-per-view, but with that in mind, if I can skip ahead a second, we have the Terror Knights main event coming up, which is just a in between. What did we call it? Like a live show, right?
Yes, yeah.
But there will be an Anarchy title match. Actually, a few of these matches changed. Should I read over the card?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so there will be Terror Knights main event on July 2nd. There will be the crossover Collision 2, which I hope we talk about, which will be amazing. and that is July 23rd. And then all the way in October, we're going to build up Chamber of Horrors. In October is when we will have Chamber of Horrors. So, a couple of events, big events coming up. Well, one huge event in Crossover Collision 2. But next cycle, we'll have kind of our in-between house show with Terror Knight's main event. So, the card for that. A couple matches changed, and you'll see it in your bulletin in 54. Jay Balick is still going against Jigsaw. Wolfman Joe is still teaming up with Foxwoman Santana to take on Darth Euro and Darth Akari. We will have no longer Sinister Bagul versus Michael Myers. We will have Michael Myers versus Bigfoot.
Nice. Bigfoot.
Because the Anarchy title match will be Dr. Frankenstein versus Sinister Bagul.
Ooh, dun dun dun. Yeah, that's one that's been man, maybe he wants to just take all the belts. He's just gonna be like, cash in, take yours, take that one.
I know.
Right? Sinister.
Well, that's the thing. You know, this, when you think about it, this is a pretty powerhouse matchup because you've got Dr. Frankenstein, who is the Anarchy champion, who will challenge for the Underworld title. And then you also have Sinister Bagul, who has the head in the box, can challenge anytime he wants, and he's going to challenge for the Anarchy title now.
Nice. Now, head in the box was end of the year, right? So what happens?
Like 6 months ago.
Can we have two head in the box holders? Is that?
Oh, excellent question. I guess that's something I would have to address if we get down to only a few cycles left. If off the cuff, my initial thought is I didn't put a deadline on it. So if I didn't put a deadline on it when he won it, it would be unfair to change it.
Right.
I would say he can hold it as long as he wants.
Nice. I like it. Yeah. Yeah, two head in the box. Oh, no, I don't want to put that in the Matrix, but yeah, that one's a good one. Just in case.
I mean, I wouldn't want to hold on to it for over a year, but everybody plays their own way.
Yeah. He just wants to beat up on people regularly. He's like, I'm going to take it one way or the other.
We'll see if I can get it otherwise. Yeah.
I feel, oh, dang, gets both of them.
Yeah.
I just feel bad for, poor, Reverend Boswell's head, who isn't, like,
who's still
rotting away worms and decay. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the real question is, if Bagul would hang on to it and he would win the second one, does he now get an 8-point advantage?
Oh. Yeah, that's
a virtual lock. Am I right?
Yeah, unless you really do an IWA flip.
I mean, it is possible to tank that hard, but
yeah, it is. Believe me.
I know it's happened to me.
It's happened to me many a time. My Diamond 469 says it all.
Oh man!
Like what? How? What did I do?
How is that even possible? Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I think my worst was steel because I used the iron chart instead of the steel chart.
Oh well, at least.
Yeah. But I see that was an excuse that I literally just messed up. The diamond one, I literally had my diamond chart. I just must have typed some. I haven't even double checked. That was that bad. But it's like, oh well. Yeah.
Yeah. So, skipping over the amazing event of the summer called Crossover Collision 2 for a moment, we do have some Chamber of Horror matches that are already set.
Nice.
It seems wild to say that because it seems like it might be kind of far away, but it's only 5 cycles. 5 cycles is a while, but that's plenty of time to build.
And I bring back the pace. I mean, the pace in every league, in every bubble, in every realm, in every whatever you want to call it. The best way you can, think of whatever helps get you to understand it. This realm, this pace here, is Turtle. I mean, thankfully, every manager here knows that we're building and we're going at a slow pace. It's going to allow us to develop our characters. Yes, we want to develop each character. We want to know how many, how did Three Fingers lose his, other 7 fingers? We want to know, does the hit?
No,
Need to know, yeah, does the hitchhiker only have thumbs? It's like, come on, give us more. Like, stuff like that is just, it's out there and we want to know. It's
Need
like,
to know, yeah. But you can think of the LNL as a very long, like a season, right? In between each pay-per-view is a season, right? We're not doing quick one-off shows. This isn't
yes.
the Twilight Zone from the 1960s, right? We are doing long stories, so every piece builds. So feel free to take your time and build a big story. I find it very rewarding to build a big story. So that's why we do it here.
Oh yeah. So I mean, so like, yeah, you're saying 5 cycles may seem like a long time for most, other places, but yeah, I think it's just right. It allows you to go back and forth. Um, I can't wait. I mean, just to see those two names right there, and I know who's behind them, and seeing the kind of stuff that'll come is just, has me tingling. It's like, oh yeah, here he goes.
Pretty good stuff. So
Yeah.
the Underworld title match at Chamber of Horrors, the next time the title will officially be defended, is champion Darth Akuma facing off with the winner of the Dead by Dawn contest. Should I say that now or should we wait?
Yeah, no, no, no. We can
Let's do
definitely
it.
say
It's
that.
in the bulletin. Darth Akuma is going to defend against the Dead by Dawn winner, who is Dr. Frankenstein.
Oh, buried them
So
all, huh?
buried them all. And we'll see later how he ended up winning at the end. There is a little selfish on his part, but we'll get to it. So the Anarchy title match will be the champion, so either Frankenstein or Bagul, facing off against the winner of the Battle Royal in Tour 55.
Nice.
So enter your Battle Royal, hopefully every cycle, but especially enter Battle Royal during the 55, because the winner that's going to face the Anarchy champion. The Terror Tag title match. This is the one I'm really looking forward to. This. Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers, longtime champions, are going to face off against Sinister Bagul, who earned the title match, and a partner of his choosing. So,
oh, nice. I know he's traditionally tagged with the Krampus, but the Krampus is waiting for Christmas again.
It seems like the Krampus apparently found a spring Christmas somewhere. So hopefully we have him back for the summer. Yes. And then in addition to that, a match that, frankly, I just had to sign. I don't know how these two can avoid each other for another pay-per-view, is Morbius and Wolfman Joe.
Dude, you know what? I know you see, there you go again, trying to turn Morbius into a bad guy for, poor little, trying to sedate Wolfman Joe and help him out from.
Wolfman Joe just keeps killing everybody, and he tells me I've got to sign a match with him and Morbius, so I'm just trying to be nice.
Oh, yeah.
Like all my entire backstage crew is dead, so like.
Hey, those guys were all evil anyways. What do you? There's like. Oh man.
There's always more backstage crew, I guess. But.
Yeah, man. Just put out the help wanted, But oh man.
Yeah, hazardous job, well paid.
Yeah, from the start, it's always been all these LNL staffers. The welcoming party with Morbius and dude, Wolfman Joe's just eliminating them, and hopefully Wolfman Joe comes to his senses, because those Wolfmen, man. Where do we even start with that one, man? Jeez. I mean,
dangerous character.
Yeah. Now, these are we ready for some trash talk?
Well, unless we want to talk about Crossover Collision.
Oh, we can't. How can we forget that one? No, yeah. Oh.
I mean, do you want to talk about Crossover Collision first? You know what? Let's talk about it after the pay-per-view, if that's okay.
Yeah, definitely.
But what we could talk about first is we could just briefly mention the Haunted Grounds contest continues, and it's getting pretty thick, if I may use that term, in the middle there, like in the middle top. The middle top is very competitive. I would say like the top 12 are all one title away from each other. So, obviously there's still time for people to, try and catch up. I'm not saying there isn't, but, we've got a real race going with the top 10 to 15 people right now. So
nice.
Yeah.
Now, let's remind everybody the winner gets potentially a match deal if they.
If you manage to secure all 10 in a single calendar year, you get a match deal. If nobody secures all 10 separate regional titles, then the winner still gets 10 free matches.
Who do you have as your closest right now? I'm looking.
Do you want the one that's in 53 or the one that'll be in 54?
Oh, nice. Yes. I mean, well, since you got the updated numbers.
That's the report's done.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. How often does that happen? Never. So actually, it's a moot point because the top two are the same. Darth Akuma is still in second, and Patient X is still first.
Nice.
Are the top two there?
And I mean, those two right there. Like I said, like I said, I definitely enjoy seeing those two names at the top right there because they've earned it.
Yeah. And we now have three who have at least, we now have 7 who have at least 3 unique titles, and another 7 who have 2. And so, I mean, those are still, to me, obviously somebody who only has 1 can still hit a hot streak, but I would say anybody with at least 2 at this point is still competitive. So, we're looking at 13 with at least 2.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Dude, come on, Squeaky. Come on, RoboCat. Get it together, man. Jeez, man.
We're still okay, so Squeaky's in the top half. Where's RoboCat? Oh, he's near the bottom.
That's what. Come on.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, man, RoboCat, dude. You know what? Yeah. You know what? Maybe you shouldn't have ripped off your balls, man. You should have let Foxwoman take care of that.
Yeah. Thinking about if I may talk about Dr. Frankenstein and the patients, all 3 patients are ranked higher than Dr. Frankenstein.
Oh, but you know why that is? I mean, because he keeps getting those leaves.
Witted leaves.
But hey, that's this is the haunted ground, baby. Frankenstein not as haunted as you think you are, brother. Yeah.
That's right.
Stay up there in the nightmares section. The nightmares. Man. Now, I think the other thing we had mentioned about the structure is, I think that every pay-per-view. I mean, obviously, this pay-per-view happened a cycle ago, right?
Correct. The pay-per-view happened in cycle 52. Well, the matches took place in cycle 52, so the write-ups are in 53.
Yes. So just so everyone's aware of the pace here, like I said, it takes time, and I mean, another great, I mean, I'll be dead honest with everybody with the work schedule that I have. I hate to put myself on blast, but I haven't had a chance to peek through it. So, I saw it and I'm like, wow. I mean, I know what I'm going to be reading over the weekend when I get some time, because I mean, it adds a different aspect to the to the trash talk. It adds, a different. I mean, I'm telling you, I still get creeped out from reading the Sinister Bagul piece where he got his head chopped off. So I can only imagine what I'm to expect here.
Well, no one got their head chopped off.
No one's got it. Okay, but
I can say that. But do we want to kind of go over the matches real quick? I mean, we don't have to detail, because people can read. Again, hopefully you're going to download Cycle 53 because of the incredible trash talk that we'll get to later. But another good reason is because the Dead by Dawn write-up is in it. And we opened up with the 8-monster tag survivor match. And it was pretty what would you say? Violent.
I mean,
So
anytime you got the Sith who just, you know, came into, their metamorphosis that just continues now. And I did catch something. Is this the one where I guess they were banned by it from using their lightsabers? Is that?
well, so there are these creatures that can prevent Force users from using the Force, and so Dr. Frankenstein cloned some of these and put them around ringside.
See, couldn't let them play. Just
at the behest of Commissioner Pratt.
Oh, okay. So at least they had it came from above. Okay.
It came from a yes.
Ah.
So, and then what ended up happening is Darth Akuma ended up having a pretty severe arm injury. So he ended up leaving the match. But the Sith still managed to win when Akari rolled up Foxwoman in a small package. They were the final two. So, nice. But it definitely left Akuma injured heading into his title match later on.
Oh, poor Akuma. I mean, this is one of those.
Poor Akuma.
Why not poor Akuma?
Since when, poor Akuma?
Since when, poor Akuma? You're like, since he was, what was he before Dragon? Oh man, is Akuma the one that was originally an actual person, or do I have I forget which one was. I'm trying to think back
Akuma
to.
Was?
Yeah, I'm trying to think back to before they were. There was only 3 dragons, right?
Darth Akuma used to be Dragon Amarillo.
Ah, okay. So, but amongst the dragon, I mean, taking their story in a little deeper, the dragon, wasn't there one of the dragons that wasn't a dragon that became a dragon?
Yes, that was Dragon Verde, who is now Darth Akari, who actually is our Nightmare Champion.
Oh, that guy. See, he's come a long way.
Or was our Nightmare Champion. I'm sorry. Akuma is our Nightmare Champion this cycle.
Aha. Yeah, but Akari is, like I said, it just, like I said, I can think back to one of the dragons, like I said, and now that you put those two together, just that kind of a development. That's what you get in the LNL. You're going to get deep stories that don't go away. Not a dig on anybody, but, you get these characters that are just built and continue to evolve. I mean, and, yeah, we'll get to more of the evolution and possibly offspring.
Yes. So, then before the Morbius and Patient X match can take place, we find Morbius and Wolfman Joe engaged in a fight with Patient X laid out.
What?
Which only leads me to say that either Morbius or Wolfman Joe laid out Patient X and then started fighting each other.
You know what? There's no way it was Morbius. Morbius is there to help him, unless he wanted to kind of put Patient X out, so that Wolfman didn't eat him. Maybe that
possible.
Oh no, he's gonna eat you. Let me knock you out, so you don't feel a thing. Because Morbius is a good guy.
Seems like a stretch.
Oh man, Morbius is a good guy. He really is. He's trying his best. But I honestly think Wolfman Joe's just knocked him out, coming after poor Morbius, the good guy, for saving his life, not letting Dr. Frankenstein kill him.
So.
Yeah, Morbius is dead. He's gonna get eaten by Wolfman. So Morbius is dead. You just poor Morbius.
Then we had our Terror title match, which, as previously mentioned, Myers and Voorhees managed to retain against RoboCat and Squeaky.
Well, yeah, they had to go up against the Sith earlier. You can't expect them batting up. Man, double duty, and then to face these two killers.
Yeah.
Man.
exactly. I mean, hey, you're preaching in the choir there. If I had to face off with the Sith and then I had to face Myers and Voorhees, probably not going to be 100%.
Yeah, poor Squeaky, got sucker punched, and oh man,
not nice.
Not nice, Michael Myers. Not nice. He's a little mouse. A little mouse.
He's nice. He's a nice little mouse.
Yeah, right. Yeah, mouse.
But what does come out of that match is Jason was a little worse for wear, and Sinister Bagul appeared, and immediately he hits Michael Myers with a pickaxe, and
nice.
Myers goes down gushing blood, and then he hits Jason with the axe, and the match between Voorhees and Sinister begins, where if Bagul managed to win, he can have a future tag title match. So now Jason says he wants to start the match anyway, even though he's hurt now, and he just can't recover. He does, if I may, if you will indulge me for a moment, he does make a valiant comeback, but as he has Bagul in a bear hug, Bagul had broken his mask off again, right, as he did in the trash talk a few cycles ago. So Jason's mask is off, and Bagul takes his thumbs and jabs them into Jason's exposed eyeballs.
Oh, nice.
And so that's when Voorhees stumbles back, and Bagul manages to hit him with his finisher, the Eternal Darkness, and take the win.
You think Jason's gonna get like pink eye, or?
I mean, he's probably gonna get something. He wants to get his eyes checked.
You gotta go see the doctor for. I mean, not that doctor. Go see a regular doctor.
Right. Don't go see Dr. Frankenstein. But I thought that was a little bit of good storytelling on my part. Pat myself on the back there.
Yeah.
So
thumbs through the eyes is definitely a.
Yeah. So then we had our Anarchy title match. And Voodoo Dolly, unfortunately, was inactive the pay-per-view cycle, so she doesn't come down to the ring. So we have Bosco and Catfish Rob and Dr. Frankenstein, and obviously being somewhat tentative allies, Frankenstein and Rob team up, and they beat up poor Bosco until it's time for the pinfall. And when Catfish hits his finishing move, Dr. Frankenstein throws Catfish from the ring and pins Bosco himself.
Wow, man. Oh, jeez, Louise. Frankenstein, you son of a... Man, you wonder why you got the that award. I won't even mention it again. That's why you got that award, Frankenstein. You're getting pretty close to getting it again this year, brother.
He made it 2 years in a row.
Oh, man.
But hey, when titles are on the line, you do what needs done.
Hey, you know what? That's something that you got to learn. It's oh man. Well, you know what?
That'll happen with Catfish again, though.
No, I mean,
because with Foxman Rob now, we're in danger.
Yeah, we'll get into that one right now because I think this definitely put us on notice throughout the whole. I mean, if there was that one bell, that rung hard and rung throughout the night, it was that one, man. That has me, still jaw dropped right now.
Right, there was definitely something that was rung hard in that trash talk. Let me tell you. So
yes.
Next, we had our Underworld title match with Darth Akuma and the winner of Monsters Ball, Patient X. Akuma, again, there are those creatures around the ring, so he can't use his force powers. His arm is injured. Patient X dominates, a lot of the match, but Akuma manages to stay involved. RoboCat and Squeaky come to ringside, each with one of the lightsabers that they got earlier in their creature feature versus Sith match, right? So what we end up having is RoboCat and Squeaky facing off with Euro and Akari at ringside.
Nice.
And it's distracting the referee. Patient X has Akuma tapping out, but the referee doesn't see it. The fans think they're going to see a new champion, but unfortunately, RoboCat and Squeaky accidentally destroy the creatures that were around ringside that were keeping the Sith from using the Force.
Idiots.
So once that happens, the Sith disarm them, and also it allows Akuma to summon the Force, and he hits a vicious Falcon Arrow on Patient X, and he retains the title. And the crowd has some pretty furious chants of excrement coming from a bull. So this is where I would say it gets even more interesting, if that is possible. Dr. Frankenstein comes to the ring with the other patients and most of the locker room because they're upset at how Akari and Euro managed to help Akuma cheat to keep the title. But the Sith quickly race out, and so the monsters are left standing in the ring when we hear a voice from the ramp. Do you want to take this, sir, or you want me to continue?
Oh man, I mean, this has been building up for a while now. I mean, we've had, obviously, shout out to the other bronze denomination, the RWL, and I think we've had some fun with taking a little jab here, a little jab at one another, and even within the bulletin, it looks like you guys are having a great time.
You got some back and forth going, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to the point where I don't want to misquote you, but what was it? Commissioner Pratt said the RWL was even unworthy.
That's I don't know if he used the word unworthy, but that was definitely his sentiment, that they were not good enough to face the LNL.
And all of it. So, and here comes Goldstein, huh?
And here comes Commissioner Goldstein from the RWL. And what doesn't work out is that he he says that Pratt made a mistake, and that we're here to prove him wrong. And suddenly, members of the RWL roster jump the barricade from all corners. We end up with members from Fear and Torment, Susie Moon with Acid Rain and Venus de Rose, members of the Rebellion, Gabby Wonder, Hope, Chimera, Ginny Briggs, and the Unhinged Queen Bees. They all are brandishing all sorts of weapons, and the monsters are all make a ring, like circling the wagons. And Dr. Frankenstein tries to get away, and that doesn't work. The fight is on, and I would argue, as the LNL commissioner, that part of the reason why the LNL monsters went down is because they had already had all these matches. They were tired, and the RWL women had weapons.
Yeah, so, you got an advantage. I mean,
nevertheless, at the end of the night, except for the Dead by Dawn contest, the brawl ended with the RWL standing tall and Commissioner Goldstein smiling from the entrance ramp. So they laid out all these monsters right before the Dead by Dawn contest.
Well, I mean, we know crossover collision is coming, and we'll get a little more into that. But yeah, if this isn't a taste of what's coming,
pretty excited.
Yes.
So what we had, just for those who may not know, we alluded to it, but I sent out as LNL commissioner, sent out a challenge. Who would like to face us in the second annual crossover collision, since the LNL beat the UNL last year? And so Commissioner Goldstein said, hey, we would take up your challenge. And I replied back, you're not good enough. And then Goldstein replied back, we'll see about that. And then he shows up with his large portion of his roster at our pay-per-view and beats us up. So that will not go unrequited, sir.
No. Yeah, I'd be careful with what you think you started here, Goldstein, because yeah, you know what? Lucky for us, some realms play in a similar fashion, and I think with as much madness as going on in the RWL, I think these two realms or these two leagues can definitely have some fun, have some fun. Because yeah, this is awesome.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
So then we do have an intermission before our Dead by Dawn contest.
just to get a little break, clean up
little
the
breather,
mess.
little breather. Go to the bathroom, get some popcorn. So when the contest starts, monsters start getting buried, and I'll skip to the end. No offense to anybody else, but we get down to Patient Y, Patient Z, Dr. Frankenstein against Voorhees and Myers.
Ooh.
So those are our final 5. Dr. Frankenstein whispers something to patients Y and Z, and they nod. Then they start fighting with Myers and Voorhees, and they bear hug them. And they like, if you can try and imagine in your I don't know what in your brain, like they bear hug them and they jump into some open graves. So that's when Dr. Frankenstein buries all 4 of them. He buries his own patients to win the match.
You know what? That's gonna piss off the patients, because they've been very, very loyal.
Well, it's alluded here. I think that's what Dr. Frankenstein whispered to them. To them,
do it.
Do this. Yeah, this is what you're gonna do.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, those patients, they might not X is kind of taking steps in the right direction of kind of building his own legacy. So I think this might set off the other two, maybe, man.
If I were patients Y and Z, I might be a little upset with this kind of treatment.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see where this leads. But yeah, no, that's.
But nevertheless, man. Dr. Frankenstein wins the Dead by Dawn contest.
That bum. You know what? He's just what can I say? Well, he had that target on his back. Just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Bigger and bigger.
Bigger and bigger.
So, now that we have had our Dead by Dawn contest, we are looking forward to the crossover collision. Would you like me to go over some of the happenings for crossover collision?
Oh, nice! It's got the talks has gotten that deep already. Look at you.
The talks have gotten so deep that we have a bit of a card to share if you want to know.
Nice. Yeah. Let's.
Yeah.
I mean, spoiler alert if there's anybody in the RWL, because I know we didn't have that info during the. I don't think we went over. Well, I don't think we went over that.
Well, then I won't go over very much.
Okay. I mean, no. I mean, if you guys have talked, I mean, this is.
Well. You'll see it in the bulletin, but I'll tease a little bit. How's that?
Okay.
So we will have 7 matches altogether. So obviously the league that wins 4, wins the proverbial braggers' rights or whatever.
There you go. Okay.
The main event, co-main event, will be a 40 participant battle royal.
What?
There will be 20 LNL monsters. 20 RWL monsters, or 20 RWL wrestlers.
Now I know what you think of the women in the RWL. Look at you.
Well, hey, have you seen what the Gores have done?
Oh,
they are.
I thought you were going to mention someone else, but we'll leave it at that.
No, I mean the beautiful people are monsters, but like.
Oh yeah.
So no.
Well, yes, no. 20 and 20.
20 and 20, yes, and. For each of the 7 matches, this part is TBD, but each winner of the match will earn some level of free matches.
Okay, perfect.
So if you are in one of the matches and you win, you'll get some free matches, and certainly the winner of the 40 participant battle royal will get a lion's share of those free matches. So, we will have 4 singles matches, 1 tag match, 1 6-person match. And the only one I'll highlight now is that what I would consider the co-main event is the LNL Underworld champion squaring off with the RWL Revolt X champion.
Ooh, nice. Very, very nice.
Champion versus champion.
I mean, and I hate to say this, but I mean, the structure makes this that much more appealing because I know the structure behind both leagues, and if you are in both leagues, you know how difficult it is to keep and maintain some of these belts. And whew, yeah, shout out, yeah, that's a great one. And now the other ones that are TBD, like I said, I know the bulletin comes out shortly, so
Yes.
be patient and you'll see the other ones. But
Yeah.
shout out to both commissioners, shout out to both leagues for allowing managers to have fun in their own unique way. I think both leagues will benefit from this in the long run because I don't want to give away too much because I know this is like I said, it's still in the works. But yeah, the bronze is definitely getting some more attention. Can we say that? Can we say that?
I would say that bronze is developing into an amazing place to play in the IWA.
Yes, it is. I mean, if you're not in it, venture off into any one of the fantastic leagues that are available. We definitely love to see you in the LNL. Definitely, RWL is a great female league, the best that I've seen in the game. I mean, I haven't been in the game.
Close.
I haven't been in the IWA long, but I can easily say that no one has done it better. A women's league.
Yeah.
I mean, I prove me wrong is what I'm saying. I tell that to Commissioner Goldstein all the time. It's like, look, brother, no one has ever done a female league right, and no one has ever done a female league as good. So
I don't think that there's any disputing that. And if somebody can, I would like to be educated because I can't imagine that there has been another women's league that has been as good as what he is doing now. I just really, and that's, I just don't think that the respect has been paid to a women's league like what he has done and what is happening now in the RWL.
Shout out and like I said, and a double shout out to both of you guys for bringing this this collision course to us. But yeah, I mean that's beautiful. I mean just to see the collision course, what do you call it? The name just live on and just keep bringing great action is awesome in itself.
Yes.
Now, we gotta go over this one. We're like I said, Catfish Rob, you son of a gun, man.
Oh, okay. So, I'm sorry, but
you got one more before. You got one more before.
Well, yes. If we want to go over some of the comments.
Okay.
From the April. So shout out to Dennis for his comments. Appreciate it. He says it's pronounced Yo Ro. It's Y-O and then R-O-O. So how would you pronounce R-O-O?
Ru? Like, isn't that the guy from
Yoru?
Yoru?
Tell us if Yoru is correct. So.
Isn't that one of the characters from, darn it. I was gonna say, isn't it like Winnie the Pooh? Doesn't he have a Roo? Or is it spelled differently?
Oh, like Kanga and Roo? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yoru. We're gonna go with Yoru unless you correct us, Mr. Dennis. So then he also mentions that maybe the cards are down because the Sith collapsed the roof and killed thousands of people, and maybe fans don't want to go and have a roof collapsed on them, which is
of course.
Fair to say. It's fair to say. He does encourage me to save the trees, which I'm not going to do, but I appreciate his concern for the environment. So he does mention
Frankenstein guy.
He does mention that also that even with a different gimmick, the Dragon's changing to Sith, the whole league is united against him.
Hey, when you bring down the whole stadium on everybody, of course.
Right. When you're as good at being a villain as the Dragons were and as the Sith are, that tends to be what happens. So.
Yes.
So, thank you, Dennis. Anybody else who comments on this one, we'll try and remember to talk about it next time. Thank you for listening. So let's get to this trash talk.
I mean, You talk about surprises. I mean, Catfish. I mean, I know him, and I've had opportunities to talk many a time with him now. He's such a sweet man, and so
I know.
So I don't expect. I don't expect this. I don't expect this kind of trash talk. Oh,
But
but geez,
but
I
here it
mean,
is,
it
looming inside of him.
I mean, obviously, the pinnacle or the most shocking part when you were going over it earlier was uh, was that the end of the trash talk where they were just humping through the night, or is that at the
No,
beginning?
that's like what works them up before they go into the city.
Ah, my goodness, they didn't even save that for the end. Like I'm just gonna have a good
No,
finish at the end. Like no,
yeah,
we're
no,
gonna start with a finish.
nope, nope. And
Ah,
and so yep, Fox man Rob, when in his like werewolf fox form, uh did the business with Foxwoman Santana before they went into town and ripped apart
the
men and women. Uh,
the literal two what is it the beast with two backs the literal two.
the horizontal mambo is what they were
Oh,
doing. They were getting busy.
under the
Uh,
moonlight. Don't forget under the
Under the
moonlight.
moonlight, howling under the moonlight, buddy. Like if you happen to be, like walking in the woods or staying in the woods at that time, that I think would be enough to make you pack up and go home. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Um, so then they go into town. I think they rip people up. They rip arms and legs off. Cat Foxman Rob also slices a woman's boobs off. So it gets pretty vicious, I gotta say. So
Now, is it safe to say because I mean this is also a part of the catfish metamorphosis.
correct.
Uh, Now, regardless of how I'm not going to go and break the fourth wall and say that he has. Well, I will, but I already did.
I
That he
think you
has
did, yeah.
he has two characters within the league, but within the trash talk, it's actually just one. It's the same character, so it's kind of like his Jekyll and Hyde demeanors,
Yeah.
or so he does have a good side, which is his catfish Rob side, and he does have the evil side when it comes out. Because you never know under what kind of moonlight. And that's another thing that I'm wondering now is do certain moonlights turn them into catfish and certain moonlights turn them into Foxman?
Well, I think that some of it is still, unclear. I think it's still unclear
Even to him.
even to him himself. He's trying to figure this all out, and Foxwoman's trying to help him. And it seems like Foxwoman is trying to help him like have control over it, but at the same time, you know, she lets loose with him and they kill all these men and women. So I don't know. I mean, I am as intrigued about this as I could be. It is interesting and exciting. It's definitely one of those trash talks that like I believe we will harken back to, particularly because although we've already talked about seems like we've already talked about part 2 and we haven't talked about part 1 yet, and that's fine. But given everything that Catfish Rob is metamorphosing with here, I definitely think this cycle is going to be one that we look back at and go, this was the start of something big.
Oh yeah, like you said, in terms of building into the next pay per view,
For sure, yeah.
finishing strong. I mean, I think this is I think the part that I myself have to get better at in terms of the pace of this league and building up stronger to a pay per view and just being able to turn the page and the way these two and this is a kudos to them because Dennis and Catfish definitely know how to turn the page into the next pay per view.
Yep.
Michael and Jason are phenomenal at it as well. I mean, just the way they keep that pace. I mean, that's something that coming into a league like the Living Nightmare League, just learning how to you know keep that focus and drive the as I say drive the nail through the through the wood
Yeah.
because yeah, I mean it's fun to see the way these guys. I mean, and they've been doing it for how long now? I mean,
Long time.
just
long
awesome.
time, and it's still interesting. That's the
Yeah.
biggest thing,
Oh
right? It's
yeah.
still interesting.
I think that's what gets me, more pumped up. When you were saying it earlier, I'm like, wow, there's still, even after everything has been done and said, and heads chopped and heads rolled, and they still find a way to just be like, here you go, here's more, and it's like,
Yeah, right. Like we got
wow.
more to tell. I definitely think, although it's not announced this cycle, we're gonna have Catfish Rob versus one of the Siths at the pay-per-view, and it's gonna have to be some kind of stipulation match. So, either Catfish or the Sith. I think we need some kind of something. You know what I'm saying? We can't just have a regular match between Catfish and one of the Sith Lords. I think we need something pretty big.
I'm trying to think of how that would. Yeah, I mean, but these two guys, they know how to set themselves up. So I'm curious as to see how they take this and move it forward. Because yeah, I think the next one between those two factions has definitely got to be a good one.
Big, yeah, big for sure.
Yes.
And then, so do we want to finish the Catfish part first? Earlier, so the way the bulletin worked out, I'm not sure how the IWA, like why the IWA printed it this way. It's possible that Rob sent him in at 2 different times.
And I can actually vouch to that, because one of them is from the previous cycle that it just didn't make it in on time.
Okay. Because they printed what happens earlier later in the bulletin. So to back up a bit now, we do have some good story with Catfish laying in the I don't want to call it a hospital, but laying where Dr. Frankenstein can try and help him, and RoboCat and Squeaky and Bigfoot come to visit, and so will he be okay? Will he not be okay? Dr. Frankenstein doesn't seem very sure. And then when Catfish manages to wake up, he's very, I don't want to say confused, but maybe disoriented is the right word for it. And Foxwoman is trying to help him. She wants to be there for him. And so that's kind of where he takes off and she follows, and she says to Squeaky and RoboCat, don't follow us. I'll try and take care of it. So that kind of leads into what we've already talked about, and it's also very good. So it builds a good story. So if you're not like me and you want to read it, beginning to end, find the one that's later on first and read that and then go back.
Nice.
So yeah, good stuff. In addition to Catfish Rob, we also had Wolfman Joe, who, he says he's trying to be good, but I don't really think he's trying all that hard. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean,
hey, let's say it like it is. This is the Living Nightmare League, so
it is the Living Nightmare League.
Maybe this is his version of good. You don't want to see the bad side.
Maybe, but he does. There is a part with the final LNL backstage crew member who begs for his life. That I won't spoil. I want you to go read it if you're interested, but it's worth reading. It'll be in the report, but I encourage you to check it out. There is a man who makes his case for Wolfman Joe not to kill him, and it is. I mean, it's a little sick, but I laughed. So,
but
it's good.
I mean, this is the kind of, I mean, dude. I mean, let's yeah. There's nothing funny about what goes on in some of the trash talk, but it's just, dude. It's just like it's that tongue in cheek that you called it earlier.
Yeah.
And it's like you gotta just let go sometimes, and this is the perfect place to just
have fun with it. Yeah.
Just run with it, man. Like I said, we had our talk right before this one, and yeah, some of the stuff that's coming up, I hope it comes over in the right way. But it's just, yeah, just enjoy it, have fun, man. Because we have enough. I think it's on it. We can honestly say that there's enough places to play traditional. Or if
Right.
you want to just be, hey, shout out to, the iWar, shout out to, every other league that just wants to stay traditional. Like we understand, believe me. I love the AWL. Shout out to the LSL and, keeping everything within the regular, normal, day to day. But the LNL is not it. It's just,
I like that. Yeah. And you
I
know
like,
what? I don't know if I've ever mentioned this specifically, but do you remember the first, maybe say like, maybe not even the first one as much, but the Nightmare on Elm Streets where they got a little tongue in cheeky.
yes.
You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like maybe parts like 3, 4, and 5 had some pretty goofy, I don't want to, maybe goofy's not the right word, but some pretty like humorous things happen in a scary movie.
Right.
That's kind of how I see it. Like it is scary and people get ripped up and, people get their heads ripped off and stuff like that. But it can also be there can be some funny parts, right?
Yeah.
We can see
That
the humor and the levity in what we're doing here.
Yes, there is room for it.
So someone who did not appear to be very levity filled was Squeaky, who wondered if we had ever had a 7-foot rat looking down on us.
Damn, IWA Flip, get some more trash talk. Jeez, man.
What's
Oh,
this
man.
guy doing?
Now, that's just, I mean, I think we said this once and twice where sometimes because people come to the league later, they don't know your whole backstory. So that's, something that I guess I want to also reiterate is that Squeaky is, I don't want to say he's unstable, but I guess that is the best way to put it. Where from 1 minute to the next, he goes from a little mouse to a 7-foot rat, and he still has no way of controlling it. So if you ever feel like stepping on him, use it in the trash time. Not knock yourself out. Just be careful.
Yeah, you might go to step and then find yourself stepped on.
Right.
So
like whoops, like that set him off. Now the next one right here is my mistake because I thought he was going to be Wolfman Rob, so I put Wolfman, but it ended up being a Foxman Rob that he converts to. So Foxman and is he Wolfman? No, he's not Wolfman, right? It's Foxman.
It is Foxman.
Okay.
But in your defense, it's mentioned several times that he is part Wolfman and part Foxman.
Yeah,
so although his name is Foxman, he has elements of both.
Nice.
So that's what makes him extra scary is that he has, whatever Wolfman Joe had in him, which is another concoction, right, between werewolf and vampire, and he has whatever makes Foxwoman.
Now
so he is all sorts of messed up.
I did see that somewhere, right? He did put somewhere where he actually lets us know that Foxman is his evil side and the catfish is his good side, right?
Well, yeah, correct. Yes. Foxman is the evil side, well, the monster side, and catfish is when he's trying to be good.
Yes. Oh man. Now I mean, shout out to the manager of Jason and Michael because I mean I struggle to get trash talk in sometimes, and it's just I can almost shoot myself for it sometimes. I'm like, dang it, like I didn't have enough time or whatever my schedule was, but I got to get at least on this level. I mean, I more than the one-liners because I like the fact that Jason and Michael, they just continue to just send stuff in to keep their character developing, and it's something I think we've mentioned it on other shows. It's like just give me a little. We can
right.
because of just that little tidbit. You can just add to it, and
well, and what he does here that I think is very smart, because we had the pay-per-view in Cycle 52, right? So as you're waiting to see what happens at the pay-per-view, because the write-up is in 53, you're in a sort of limbo, right?
Yes.
So it's hard, unless you work it out ahead of time, it's hard to know what to do the cycle after the pay-per-view runs. right? And so what he does here so well is he sets up the next thing, right?
Yes.
Because he's waiting to see how the pay-per-view plays out, and he still manages to look ahead, which I think, kudos to him. He always does great stuff. It's some of my favorite trash talk every cycle. But kind of while you're waiting for the pay-per-view results, you still have something. So Jason is sharpening his axes and his machetes. Michael Myers is collecting knives. It sounds like something rather auspicious is on the way. So we'll see what happens as we move forward.
Nice. Now, speaking of moving forward, the Sith look like they it looks like they're going to be did they turn on each other here, or
nope?
Why did I think it is? So I may be one ahead of myself. Okay, yeah, I won't reveal anything about that one yet. Okay. Yeah,
Oh.
I think I got a little ahead of myself. So yeah, no. I said, see, that's what happens when you're, working behind the scenes sometimes,
I didn't hear anything.
What? No. Oh man. Okay, so yeah, so we'll slow down
from your memories.
Slow down, Flip. See, different pace, different. Got to slow down.
Different pace. So we do have our Sith Lords recounting the events of Dead by Dawn. They seem very happy with their recent title victories. They seem content with Akuma coming out, still being the Underworld champion. And then we have Akari and Euro basically giving us the rundown on how they're going to rule us, and we're pretty much powerless to stop them.
Well, I mean, the only one that has the power, the only one that has the power is Frankenstein. Because if he can keep making those, what did you call them? Those little monsters.
But I couldn't even begin to pronounce the name, but I could spell it for you.
Well, those creatures. As long as Frankenstein has the ability to create those creatures and level the playing field, I think that's that's what they have to be wary of, because that's the only threat I see right now, other than some bumbling idiot like Bigfoot or Squeaky coming around killing those. It's like, what are you doing? They're there for a reason. Like, oh, jeez.
They meant well.
They did, but they just
meant well.
Oh man.
So then we finish up with Dr. Frankenstein, and it appears that this is, and I can confirm, I guess, that this is right after the Dead by Dawn contest. He's sitting on a tombstone, and he's clearly in a lot of pain. He's been through a lot throughout the evening, but he talks about having achieved 2 goals. One being winning the Anarchy title, and 2 being the winner of the Dead by Dawn contest. So he says that nothing will stop him until he possesses the Underworld title.
Nice. I mean, that's... You're not gonna. If you keep winning those league titles, you're not gonna win the Haunted Grounds Championship there, Frankenstein. So slow down a little bit. Slow down. Go low. Aim lower. Aim lower. No one ever said. Aim lower. Oh man. But yeah, no, we do have a lot of stuff behind the scenes working right now, and I think the fun and the excitement is just gonna elevate, and I think right in time. I mean, because we got October, virtually around the corner. I mean, at the pace that we're going, I can see October, and I can see that
Chamber of
Horrors. Yeah. Yes. And that name sounds so wrong in so many ways that I won't even get into right now. But yeah, we won't. Like I said, this is not that kind of show, so we won't get into it. But
Horror.
Yes, that's yes. Hey, okay, but
It doesn't start with a W, sir.
it's so. Oh, patience. Yeah, we need more patience. We need more.
We
Ah,
need like ST and U. Is that what you're
yes,
saying? Instead of
yes,
Y and Z, we need ST and U.
yes. Gosh,
Fair enough.
I love it. Ah,
I will say, um, I am very excited about where the LNL is going to go this summer. We've got Crossover Collision coming up. We've got Chamber of Horrors coming up. I also want to tease with all of these events going on, the commissioner will be hiring an assistant. So you will see that assistant next cycle.
bum bum bum.
So definitely going to help with the workload associated with building for all of these various events and dealing with Wolfman Joe killing all my backstage crew.
I love it. Wolfman, I know you're good deep down inside, brother. That's why that's why I had to save you that one time. That's from
That's why
Morbius.
Morbius saved you.
Yes, he knows it. Just misunderstood creatures of the night, and maybe after this pay-per-view, we'll shake on it and kill the rest of the staff. I mean, not. I mean, save the rest of the staff.
Sounds fair.
Fair enough. Commissioner, this one, like I said, Dead by Dawn, definitely. I don't think you and I even thought we were going to go this deep into this one, but yeah, this one was jam packed.
It was.
Yeah.
I feel like Dead by Dawn was like an excellent part 2, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Like it. I think Dead by Dawn laid a lot of groundwork for what we're going to see in Chamber of Horrors.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, we've already had some of the the pregame talk, so we kind of have some clues as to what's going on. But yeah, if you're in the Living Nightmare leagues, expect the unexpected these next couple of cycles, and lace those boots up if you have them. If you have hairy feet like Foxwoman Santana, get your nails done. Because
do them up.
Yeah, do them up because it's coming.
Now, do they charge her double? Because I'm sure her nails are bigger than.
You know what? That salon that she goes to, they probably give her deals for as much time as she
probably do. They're probably like, we're gonna give it to you for free today, Foxwoman. Just don't kill anybody.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. It's like how many people we've lost. Like, do her for free. Do her for free. She kill you, no? She kill you, no? Oh yeah, Foxwoman. Under the moonlight. I'm never
Howling
ever
under the moonlight.
That's
what I'm gonna call it from now on. Hey,
what are you doing?
I had a really nice time at dinner. You want to come back to my place? We'll howl under the moonlight.
Yes. I mean, I have Foxwoman in a whole different picture now. Poor Foxwoman. in a way I never wanted to ever imagine her. It's bad enough I had, I still have the picture of her ripping up.
Never having thought about that.
No, yeah, I could have done without that, especially after having, the vision of her rip off people's, what. That's not now to see that is like, no. Oh, Foxwoman.
There it is.
Yep. All right, Commissioner, we're going to go ahead and sign this one off. Living Nightmare League, number 53 was jam-packed. Please go download it. Check it out. Check out the Dead by Dawn. Check out the wonderful trash talk. Submissions by all our fantastic managers. Join in on the action. Come on over. We got a lot brewing up in the bronze and throughout this entire federation. I think it's find your way to one of the leagues. If you're not in it, it's popping because Well, you've been listening to Commissioner Scott Anderson and myself, IWA Flip. This has been Living Nightmare After Hours. We'll see you guys next time.